Alright, I don't know how the sound is on this. I might actually need a mic, but welcome to the channel that's now called Arizona Trails to Philippine Tales. So basically, this channel is going to be about my wife and I, who are moving from Arizona to the Philippines. Now, one thing my wife, she doesn't like is to watch a channel that has pre-recorded content, and next thing you know, you start posting videos and the videos really ain't current. So the day that I'm doing this is indeed August the 2nd of 2024, and we are currently still in Arizona. We haven't yet moved to the Philippines. Now we will be moving to the Philippines when it comes time to September the 1st. We shall be in the Philippines, and that is when we're going to start our real journey and seeing what's taking place and what's going on in the Philippines. So hopefully this video ain't going to be too boring. It's just going to be an introductory video to the channel, and just to see some sights and things of what goes on in Arizona, which right now it's early in the morning. It's already 90 degrees, very hot. Now I'm actually from the state of Indiana. So in the state of Indiana, usually it's very humid, like the Philippines, but when winter comes, it's really bad. Now Arizona, during the summertime, it's very hot, but when winter comes, then it cools down. So I guess that's a good thing. So really, the Philippines is almost like a excuse me. Philippines is sort of like the best of Arizona during the winter, and the best of Indiana during the summertime. Now I don't know how this video is going to really be, because my voice right now is actually not sounding like it normally does, but we shall see what happens if my voice gets back to normal or not, because obviously the air is getting to my voice. So again, this is just going to be a walk and talk introductory video of myself, and again, my name is Steve, and we're trying to just, you know, move to the Philippines, get away from the United States and what's taking place here. Chances are I'm probably going to need to get a mic. Again, I don't know how the sound quality is. And obviously we got trash day today that I decided to do a walk on, so everybody's trash is being picked up now, making tons of noise, so I doubt if you can hear me. So again, this is just a walk and talk. You know, these videos are going to go over, you know, just things that are on the mind. Sometimes it's saying what or why. Why did we choose to leave the United States? Why did we choose to move to the Philippines? What things we needed to do in order to accomplish that feat. Because there is a lot of preparation. I mean, when you decide to just move to a foreign country, it's hard to say exactly where you want to live, how you want to live, how you're going to survive. So again, you know, I'll probably touch upon economics. I mean, what does a person have to do in order to get the funds necessary to leave a country? Now, You know, especially in America now, it's not a great place. It's not economically viable anymore. People are having a hard time just to survive. Other countries think America is rich. I mean, don't get me wrong, America gets paid a lots of money for the jobs in which they do, and it's usually more than other people make around the world. But the prices of goods and services are more than what they are in foreign countries. Americans are really getting ripped off on goods and services. I mean, these goods and services really are the same goods and services that are around the United States of America and around the world. They're the same thing, same goods, same services, but Americans are getting ripped off, and we are happy, more than happy, to pay for these goods and services, even though we have to work 2, 3, 5 jobs. There used to be a Saturday Night Live skit where they would make fun of a Jamaican couple coming to the United States and saying, "Hey man, you know, how many jobs do you have?" "What? You only have 13 jobs? Oh, you're a lazy person, lazy." But see, that's the way it's getting here in America. Just to survive, just to buy things, buy goods and services, people can't afford them anymore. So, what's the most logical thing to do? Try and get out of America, try to retire, try to find some form of income where you can get out. I mean, every time I talk to people, I'm like, hey, get your passport, it's good for 10 years, and if the crap hits the fan, then use your passport, get out of the country, and find a place that you can have an income. But then people aren't retired. People are like, "Hey Steve, how do I become retired?" You know, people work their entire freaking lives, and you know, it's hard to get out of the United States. They're stuck like Chuck. So the idea is that I've made some mistakes. And like I said, this would be one of those things where I tell you some of the mistakes that I've made in my life. And some of those mistakes are buying fancy cars, buying those things that I really didn't need. And again, you know the saying, to impress people you don't even know. So my advice is just live normal. Don't buy the fast cars. Don't buy the extravagant clothes, because the whole deal is that really your life begins when you get older. So while you're young, you might as well just spend less money, save your money, invest your money, do something with your money other than blow it on things that you don't need, trying to impress people that you do not know. And then that way, when it comes time for you to retire, or if you're investing, make more money than what you're getting paid to do a job, because I guarantee you, the day that you start making more money than what you're making by working, you're going to say, why in the world am I even working? It doesn't make any sense. So then, you need to pick a country. I don't care what country you pick in the entire world, but some place that has a better economy, or that you're going to get more bang for your buck, or again have the same goods and services someplace else as you would here in America. See, people are sort of programmed by their governments to say, woohoo, you know, this country, that country is number one. But that's not really the case. I mean, you have to look at the economics. You have to look at, you know, why in the world are you paying something for nothing or barely able to survive? And just to give you an example of that, I mean, people in the Philippines, they make $6 a day. You know, $6 a day. And they have prices that are comparable to that. So when an American or a European or whoever else is making more money in their jobs or have an income that is greater than that per day, then if they want to live like that citizen, then they should be able to have quite enough money to appear as if they have means to survive. And I think that's really what it comes down. That's the whole purpose of migration. The purpose of migration is to move from one place to another with a better chance of survivability. So that's what I'm doing. So I made an effort to try and retire as soon as I possibly could. My goal was 50 years old. And really, if I had to do it all over again, my goal would have been in my 30s. You know, just starting off in my 30s. Because I just didn't realize at the time how bad it's going to get. And that's not really my spiel. I don't like how the government is treating people. I don't like how the economy is. There's no way, it doesn't matter if you're left wing, doesn't matter if you're right wing, it's all the same bird. And I tell you, the governments of the world pretty much have won. They won the battle. Basically, it was to create division among people, and then the people, even though we're divided on issues and things of that nature, we think the same. Why do we think the same? Well, we go to school, we're all taught to sit in rows, all taught to raise our hands, all taught that America's number one, and that's what we start to believe. So even though we are divisive on ideas or ideology, we actually now think the same. I mean, people make dumb decisions. They make just dumb things. Now again, I wanted to try and keep this channel sort of upbeat, you know. Don't want to, again, complain about society, but those are parts of the decision-making process that one has to go through in order to make decisions on where they might want to migrate to. And that's exactly what my wife and I decided to do. You know, and that's, you know, even when I moved from Indiana to Arizona, I think it wasn't an economical decision. I think it was more of a weather decision. I wanted to live into a place where it was always warmer, no snow, and then I substituted grass for mowing grass to raking rocks, which I guess is, you know, that's what we get. There's always an exchange. I mean, even the Philippines ain't going to be a perfect place to live. Sure, the economy is going to be better. Money will go further. But I'm sure I'm going to have certain sacrifices. Such as, they're not very digital over there in the Philippines. Cash is king, which is a good thing, I think. And it's really the way that it should have stayed here in America. I mean, the governments are too involved with how much a person makes, how much a person spends, and don't allow you to take out money or do withdrawals from bank accounts. And that's what takes place. It transpires that way. And I don't know. I mean, I'm constantly thinking why, how, what do I need to do? And again, like I said, we'll touch upon those things in these videos. This is just an introductory, and like I said, I'm probably going to need to buy a mic for better sound quality, and then do more once I get to the Philippines. Now, what I am going to do is, after this introductory video, like I said, one thing my wife doesn't like going on to a person's channel that's brand new and finding old content. We are actually currently 29. We just finished our 29th week of building a house in the Philippines. And I think we probably have maybe another 5 months to go. So our house is not completed yet, but we decided to hurry up, move to the Philippines, rent out an apartment, and we're looking at different ones which are ranging anywhere from $68 a month all the way up to $200 a month. And that's for an apartment that would probably cost anywhere from $300 to $800 in the United States. So we're already saving money by doing a rental for 4 or 5 months until the house is completed, and then we're done. You know, yay, yippee skippy. We're going to be having a nice little life in the Philippines. But, you know, some of those things that people are wondering about is like when we get to the Philippines, transfer driver's license. Yeah, we got to do that. Try and get a Philippine driver's license. Start early. Nice thing is, if you get a number, you might actually get a number for the next day, in which you would have to return and give all the information. And then plus, you start off at window 1, then they'll send you to window 5, then they'll send you to window 6, and then they'll take a lunch break, and then upon their arrival back, tell you to go to window number 2. And then, even another thing that I found out about the Philippines is, you know, when you take before you can even get your driver's license, you actually have to have a medical examination before you go. So once you get your medical examination, they deem you fit in order to operate a vehicle. Then you take your certificate of medical certificate, and then you can go over and hand that to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and try to apply for a driver's license, which that will be nice. Now again, I tried several different visa options. Now, being married to a Filipina, usually one of the options is to get what's known as a spousal visa. And I did run into some problems there, and I'll probably create a video as to why I had problems getting a spousal visa even though we are married. And then, being older than 50 years old, I ran into problems with a retirement visa, the SRRV visa. So I ran into problems with that. So long story short, I'll make a video. Again, like I said, I'll make a video of those things too. And those videos will just explain why I couldn't get the spousal visa, or couldn't get the SRRV retirement visa. So I'm going to do it like a lot of other expats do and get the 30-day visa, which is a tourist visa. And once I'm done with the tourist visa, then of course with the tourist visa, I've got let's see here. Once the 30 days is over, I think I can extend that visa to 6 months, I think. And I can keep extending, and I can keep extending for up to 3 years. But once you reach your 3rd year mark, you have to leave the country. And you know what a lot of expats do is they'll fly over to Thailand or Vietnam, Cambodia, whatever, somewhere in the Southeast Asia, just a quick hop, and then fly in and then fly back, and then that process starts all over again, which again, that process will begin at 30 days tourist. Then you'll be able to extend. Now I am entering the country though when we do travel, and again, like I said, we're traveling on September the 1st. So our last day in America will be August the 31st of 2024. So yeah, the visa that I'm actually going to be flying in on is called the Balikbayan visa. Now, in a way, it's almost like a spousal visa. I mean, in order to enter the country, you have to be traveling with your spouse, and you show, I guess, your marriage certificate. I haven't done it yet, but I've listened to other people go through the process, and so you have to ensure that you're with your spouse, you prove that you are married, and then the Balikbayan visa will give you up to a 1-year visa in the country. So really, my tourist visa will actually be 1 year from the date that I enter the country. And then I can start that 30-day process of extensions and do that for up to 3 years. And hopefully, I don't know, when I finally do get my Social Security, I guess, as a retired individual, then I can apply for a SRRV visa or retirement visa. You know, they don't accept, like I said, I'm going to make a video of it, so I won't go into too much detail here. So that's sort of the plan right now, is just see what vlogging I'll be able to do, show the exciting places of the Philippines, do a walk and talk, you know, just a walk and talk of things on the brain, touch upon certain aspects of things that are taking place in the world. I mean, not just the Philippines, but also America. I mean, if I have a lot of people that join that are from America, there's not much I can say, you know, like preaching to the choir, how bad things are in America. But I don't see the drive in Americans to really stand up and say, hey, something's not right. We're paying too much for goods and services. Why is that? So, especially when you can get goods and services, the same goods and services, somewhere else in a foreign country. It just boggles my mind why more Americans aren't saying, hey, now granted, I would say towards the end of this year, Fed's going to pivot and market's going to go down. And once that takes place, then we should see it really start hitting the fan then. Because of course, as you know, if you know economics, just because interest rates go down, one of the things that does is it drives the prices down. And you think, oh, that's good news, but in reality it's not, especially to those who have invested over periods of time in which they too will start to lose money and will have to then still try and make money, increase prices as things start to go down. So it could actually have an opposite effect, and that's what some people don't realize when we're actually talking about economics. So those are my fears. And then of course with the elections, it's just, it doesn't matter who wins. We are in a, I actually said once to a lady, I said America's going to be a real kegger. She goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, there's a couple of different things you could talk about a kegger or a keg. I said if things get really bad, people will start buying kegs of alcohol and beer to drown the sorrows of the things that's taking place in the country. Or it could be a powder keg, an actual thing that erupts and causes mass devastation. So again, will be a real kegger, and it's something that I don't want to be around. I don't want to be here when those things take place. So don't know, I want to try and do what's right and try and see what's going on. And then, so the only thing that I can do right now is keep moving in a forward direction and say, hey, these are my thoughts. And of course, I'll be introducing Flora, and Flora will give her opinions as a dual citizen of America and the Philippines. I know she's very happy to be returning to the Philippines after all these years. I mean, she's been in the United States since, I think 1999 or 98. So she's been here for a while, and she's eager to get back to the Philippines and live, which I wouldn't blame her one bit. And so yeah, it's just those things that we have to do in order to survive. And I think people are finally waking up and realizing that you just can't do it in America. Not unless you're so programmed. I mean, I know my children, they're like, yeah, America, number one, woo-hoo. You know, and they went to a good school, they got a good education. But does that really make up the happiness and enjoyment of life? I mean, as a retiree, that's all I want to do. I just want to sit back, relax, enjoy, not worry about anything, and just, you know, this is my last leg on my journey here on planet Earth. You know, and eventually I'll die and be buried 6 feet under. And, you know, that's just the way life works, I guess. So, hopefully, you know, as these planes go over in Arizona, so hopefully I will be able to do that upon my arrival to the Philippines. Introductory. This will let me know exactly how my sound is. I know I'm going to need a mic, and yeah. Plus, another thing I'm going to do video, sort of like a catch-up video of the weeks of the house build that we've done so far, because that's pretty much what you're missing. So I want to try and keep things current. I want to try and keep things relevant. In 29 weeks of so far of a house build, not doing that. What I'll do is I'll probably speed up the process, make it a short video just to show you what the house looked like from the time that we purchased the land to the current build. And usually, so I don't know where I lost the video. It seemed like the video might have shut off and then came back on. So I was saying I'm going to create a catch-up video of the house build, and then after that I started talking about how I usually use a GoPro, and decided to use a see how an Insta 360 does on this little walk and talk experiment, and talk about our introduction to the channel. And again, the channel is called Arizona Trails to Philippine Tales, and hopefully we'll have some tales to tell. So I might just cut this off right here, do a walk back. I want to thank you for